Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. As you can see by the title, this video is about my my journey waiting for the Arc Raiders release. Um, I wrote down some notes actually for once, but it's a lot of notes, man. When you write your thoughts out, you look back at it, you're like, whoa, it's a lot of stuff. So this is me just going down like all the details I can remember waiting for this release of this game, and then also in the middle of it or at the end, like my general concerns or like, I guess just caution, with this game and how the community handles it and, how we have fun. So I think around 2021 or 2022 is when I first saw the trailer for this game and I was like, okay, like, guys is running around, attacking this giant robot spider, jumping jetpacks and stuff and grenades. I was like, wow, it looked really good at the time. So I think the PS5 came out about what 2020 or 2021's when the PS5 released, something like that. I was like, all right, cool. This game looks like it's for this generation of consoles, so I'm looking forward to it. And then like just nothing for like months, probably even years. I was like, wow, okay, like nothing's going on. So when it came back around, they were saying that Embark Studios were saying that, hey, we're gonna switch it from PvE to PvP VE. And at first I was like, well, how does that really, stack up? Like, what's that look like? What are we really doing here? And again, radio silence for 6 months time, and then like we saw like a little gameplay reveal or tech test one trailer, something like that. And I was like, all right, cool. It's nice, but I'm not super sold on what I was seeing. I left the comment. I was like, I don't know how much. I was like, I don't know if this game has any legs. And then when I got to Tech Test 2, it was like, wow, this works. This is clean. Third person is not too far from what I was playing in terms of vigor. I was playing vigor. Like, I think it's a looter shooter more than an extraction shooter. And during the COVID lockdown, and man, I had a good time playing this tech test too. I was just sold. I was like, you can release it today. I was one of those guys who were like, you can release it today, and I'd be perfectly fine with it because the state of games today is like up that alley of they'll fix it later. They'll fix the game later and they'll support it and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh man, it sucks. But no, they decided, Embark decided they wanted to take their time and work carefully, meticulously, and make sure it's good. And I'm patient as much as I've been impatient about the game. I am patient, and I'm looking forward to release. And also just I should have said this in the beginning. Shout out to Embark Studios for let me get in Tech Test 2 and playing the game and experiencing the game, having it, having to see it for myself versus watching gameplay videos from or trailers from them and just seeing it myself and going, wow, this is an amazing product. So from there, from playing Tech Test 2, had it had ended, I was like, okay, this is cool. When's it gonna come out? Like, when does it release? Because some people on Reddit were saying, possible shadow drop like they did the finals, and people would say, oh, like there are other games, and I'm like, I don't know if it was like an English translator or whatever, but I'm like, other games? It's just the finals, like what the hell? But they meant, the finals, how the finals got shadow dropped, and I was like, all right, cool, cool, we just waiting. So everyone's just waiting and getting irritated because when I played Tech Test 2, like many others have, or so few others have, it was like it was one of those games where when you stop playing it, you want to play something. You didn't have anything in your head. You didn't have anything that you can point at and like, I'm gonna buy it or I have it in my library. It was just completely just like just nothing else to play because the systems in it. I mean, I guess more or less there are other extraction shooters, not quite like it, but there are extraction shooters, right? But I guess for me on a console, on a PS5, I'm looking at this game and going, there's nothing I can think about right now that's like this game I can play right now and have fun with it the same way. None. So I got into heavy like obsession about this game to the point of like I'm going to pre-order a physical copy. Not really wait online, but I want to really support this game and like buy merch and just show love, right? So when June 6th rolled around for the Summer Games Fest, many people speculated that it was going to shadow drop then because of all these like this countdown to a countdown, like this cryptic message, not cryptic, but
You want to
this
think?
message that was
Yeah.
discovered or decoded in like one of their files that had a countdown to June
This
6th,
guy
which was
right
the
there.
Summer Games Fest. So many people, like, myself included, was like, well, maybe they'll drop it then, or maybe they'll like, announce like it's gonna come in like July or August, whatever. And it's just like, no, October 30th. October 30th, everyone was
Nice. Hit him.
like not surprised, but just kind of a little bit taken back. Like, damn, that's so far from right now since the summertime.
He's
There's
boxing him
just
down.
so much space and no competition for your game. You should drop it now. So I ran to Reddit,
Once. Twice.
inquired, just reading posts and comments about stuff, and just kind of
He's
getting
down.
impatient and also just irritated that like we can't play it. you know. So fast forward to
Oh
like
shit.
September 20th, which is like recently,
Oh, he's dead too.
like a week ago, or whatever.
I got two knocks.
They're saying at the end of the summer they'll give us like more news or some type of update, or pre-orders will
One's
open up
down
September
now.
22nd. And lo and behold, it did. It was really weird because for a second, myself included, thinking that it's going to be delayed. It's going to be delayed, and that was going to be it. I was like, oh, come on, like delayed or not canceled, but just at least delayed. Where it's
Yeah, they
like,
are.
man, you're not going to be able
Oh
to
my god, my
play it
shit,
immediately
shit,
because
shit.
you've answered some problems. And I think as gamers, we're kind of
Awesome.
used to that too, where companies or developers, they'll come out and say, oh, this game's coming out soon, early access soon, or whatever, and then game doesn't come out, it gets canceled, it doesn't get released, it gets pushed back, it's only on PC. You're just sitting there like, man, this blows. So the fact that pre-orders are really real. I pre-ordered
Ah.
myself the deluxe edition. I'm super looking forward to it. And also the server slam on October 17th to October 19th was going to be something. I'm just going to jump in and see what happens, see what's new, if anything. And from there it'll be like 11 days left, and that'll be
Damn.
kind of exciting as well. So this next part I'm just going to read from my notes. I mean, I was like in my bed just chilling out, and I was like, let me write down my thoughts because to remember all this stuff is going to be. So this is what I wrote. So what's really eating at me with this journey on Arc and my reflection of it is that there is this sort of feeling of FOMO, right? But it's not a missing out on fun kind of FOMO, but a life of a game FOMO that I hadn't thought of because of my time with Vigor. Vigor was a game I played during COVID-19 lockdown and met friends that I game with still to this day, and became my new favorite genre within shooters. So in that moment, space, I was playing that game that I enjoyed the most while not missing out while it lasted for like 2 or 3 years.
How
So
the
one of
fuck get
my
the
new
gun out?
fears when it comes to a game like Arc Raiders is
Oh
how
my
long will it
god.
hold my
Sometimes it takes
attention,
so long to get the gun out.
because
What the
price be
fuck? Where's
damned,
that
Vigor
shit?
was
Oh, there
free,
you
but
go.
I had to think about it. I did spend like $40 or more
Thank
on
you.
Vigor, but Arc being
Oh
that way
shit.
doesn't bother me in the slightest, the price wise.
I'm good. I'm good.
However, how fast I come to the end game does matter to me. Will it be 1 year worth of gameplay or four? I'm older now, in my 30s, and getting
One's
older.
down.
Gaming has become one of my top hobbies for decades now. So I don't know if my fears slash concerns are justified, or I'm just aging out, or need to get into different genres that don't demand so much brain power and efficiency.
Shit.
It's something I ponder on in almost all my recent gaming sessions alone and with friends. So
Reloading.
that is one of my concerns of Arc Raiders right now, where I'm like thinking back, where I'm like, I played Vigor, I just had day and night to play it. Unemployed, pandemic, new
Hey,
thing
yeah,
in the
no.
world, holy shit.
Metal
But when
piece.
it comes to Arc Raiders, I'm like, wait, I'm working now. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm working an
Reloading.
actual
Thank you
job.
for that.
Sometimes I'm called in or whatever, but like my time is, I
Maggie.
can't just like stay up,
Um,
play it, and go, fuck it, I'll go to work tired tomorrow. I don't want to be tired at my job. I mean, even though it's not super,
fuck, dude,
super
where you
demanding
at?
when I think about it physically, but still, like, I want to
Body
be
here.
crisp enough to where I'm
Tell me you
like
got some shield
performing
charges.
my duties.
Light shield.
So
Ammo.
comparing it to people,
Meds.
teenagers, young 20s, college bound, not college
Shield
bound,
charges.
whatever, they have a lot of
Nice.
time. They can just, I had time back then to play games. I just sink 10 hours, 8 hours easy every day, 6 hours easy every day. In a game like this, it will happen because when I was playing Tech Test, it's not like I didn't want to stop playing, but I found myself just letting myself play. I got a clock right in front of me. I'm just sitting there
With a
looking at
sniper.
playing. Oh man, got the raid. Look at the clock. Oh, it's 11:10. Okay, I'll go back in. Come back out. Oh shit, it's 11:30 or it's 11:40. I'm like, fuck. All right, cool. All right, one more game. It's like this is that one more game kind of game. It will have you just like playing and playing and playing because of you might die, you might have a crazy battle, you might just join the lobby and it's 20 minutes in and it's crazy firefights. You don't know what you're jumping into, which I do like. but it does make me nervous because you have to kind of perfect
Oh,
yourself
yeah. I'm sorry.
more so in a
Yeah.
game like this than not perfect yourself. But you wouldn't want to like work a
Exactly.
job, come home, get smashed in for an hour straight,
Oh
2 hours
man,
straight.
I don't
You're
have
just
no
losing. You're
video
just like,
before
man.
school started. You know, I was like, oh,
So I
school
don't think
starting.
this is going to be a very quote unquote
Let's go.
difficult game, but it's inviting for casuals. But people who are good at extraction
Yeah, yeah,
shooters will just
exactly.
like
I'm
run
like fucking.
amok. Like I compare
Yo,
Vigor
yo,
with
so
this
what?
game in this video, right? But
Yo.
like Vigor didn't have
Nice.
like it didn't have things to like you're dependent upon. You know what I'm trying to say? In Vigor, you could like loot a POI, and it was a POI. It wasn't like the place
Yeah,
had a
exactly.
lot of this type of
The
loot. It
shop,
just
yeah.
had that POI, and it would be random every map, right? And you'd have a gun or two, or ammo or two, whatever. You get boxes or whatever, but
Yeah,
like
killing
it
niggas.
was like
Oh my
the
god.
materials you needed to improve your shelter in Vigor. Like that was the big difference. Whereas in Arc, you have your
39
benches.
kills,
There's no
niggas.
like shelter, but I guess the shelter is the benches, so on and so forth. But like eventually, you will get to a nice level of like you have the things you need. You can go on with a level 4 Rattler, a level 2 Stitcher. You know, you have all these like, attachments, put it on. That's it. You know, you're not at a huge loss
Nope.
to fight, even with the free kits or whatever. So I'm like, wait a second. So
Nope. Shield.
how does, how do we start? How do we like maintain this? Because with Vigor, in the beginning, it wasn't like PvP city. It was very much like, eventually you would fight, but you would like fight out of like you're scared or self defense. Whereas with Ark, I can see people in a week wanting to fight people, wanting to engage with people because it's more fun. They're streaming, they're streamers, they're YouTube, whatever, just content, boom, and I feel like I don't really want that to be the face of the game. As a person in this community, I'm like, I mean, I guess I just won't play like that, right? But still, I don't even want to see that because when Vigor got to a PvP peak, right? The PvP peak, it was not insane, but it was kind of too much to the point where you thought people were cheating, and I think some people were cheating in Vigor, or some people, a handful of people was cheating in Vigor, and I was like, wow, like this blows, like this fucking blows. Like everyone's rocking the same meta weapons, coming in, wall banging, hacking, whatever, and it was just like, but it made sense because their shelters were done, or at a certain point, they didn't want to complete their shelter. They got their shelter like more than halfway, and that was good enough for them to rock whatever they were rocking. So
Heck
that's
yeah.
one of my fears with this game, where I'm like, how quick will that develop? I mean, I guess also how quick can the dev team
Oh, you
respond to
punching
it,
me?
and
Hold on a second.
do the quality of life stuff. But that's one of my major
I
concerns.
don't know. I don't get cocky.
And as I was saying, like developing a meta and just not being afraid of the world because of the tips and tricks videos and so on and so forth, to me kind of robs of magic, and that magic of games in the 2000s and 2010s of just on your own discovering stuff and like it being fun and just word of mouth, whatever. And I guess, it's the internet, so we have that now. That's just the norm,
You right.
right? Just to
I
have
mean,
these types of information flow
playing
quickly
Hunt,
in
you
that
see
way.
everything I get you,
Um,
but playing Hunt, bro.
it's just, I just hope there's like a reason to get on the mic
Yeah.
and people on your team will talk to you, people in the world will talk to you, and you're just not always fighting. I feel like hopefully that lasts more than a week or two or a month. I just would like to not always fight. As much as I don't mind PvP games, but like I can see it being a heavy resource sink fighting. That's part of why I'm also like on that fence. I'm like I don't want to
I'm
just
sitting right here.
constantly
My head
engage to the point where I
like,
have
yeah.
little to no resources because I'm gonna have to always want
The
to
game's not
engage.
like needing to impress me even more. It's good.
Like yeah, um, it's ending my night. I'm not tired, but it's like
Okay.
my gaming session right now. Like I should be gaming, but I'm making this video. Not like I gotta, someone forced me to make it, but just making this video. And I just hope that Embark has the sauce. Embark doing this game second and not first because the first was the finals, and that's free to play, and that probably bought them a lot of attention and money or time to just develop this game. And I think that maybe there's some like little secrets here and there that will come together
Yeah, these be
October 30th, reveal a lot more, and like build a good narrative. Because that's what I see with this game that Vigor didn't have really. Vigor had like a loose narration
I just feel
where,
like
in a way, it was
it's the cover of the game in a sense. Like Last of Us has cover,
where in a way
and
it
the game has
was
content. This
like
game is make your own cover
like you
or
found these
choose
tapes and
one.
cassettes, and you listen to them, and it's like outland. If anything, I imagine they used AI voice or something because Shawnee. Is it Shawnee? I think it's Shawnee. Yeah, Shawnee. Well, not Serena. Shawnee, the security chick with the fez
I must
in
forget.
this game. That one of the like traders or whatever. She sounds like the voice of a lady from Vigor who would get on the mic and tell you, "Hey, airdrop incoming," or "Hey, get out now." Same thing. I think maybe the same voice. And I don't know where I was going with that.
Wait,
um,
there's people over there then.
so I think where I was going with that was like narration. It's like what's the
I want to see how
narrative
you like
of this game?
mount somebody.
Because you might do it like Helldivers too, where it's like
Yeah.
every so often there's like this update to where like Ark have there's more Ark
Oh,
spawning,
they
so
extracted?
go out and kill them, and the more Ark you kill, the
Extracted.
more like we
Extracted
discover that. I
daily?
can see like a community
That's
feature
funny.
there where it's like a community progress bar. It's like similar to like Battlefield Backup 2 where they had Vietnam, to where they had it where I think they said they're gonna release it at a certain point, or they weren't gonna release it until the community would get
Ooh.
like a million in heals and a million ammo replenished. Like these are some crazy number, and like the community kind of came together. Not came together, but these obviously you played
Yeah,
it,
the bodies
and
were
more
low.
people were playing for the release of Vietnam or Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam to come out. So they might do
How much
something like
time?
that.
A minute 39?
So all in all, I just have my fingers crossed that Ark has that like long-term
That's
space,
legit. That's probably my least
special
favorite.
sauce. Because from what I play in Tech Test 2,
I
they
felt
seem to be in it
I
to
played
win
that
it
tonight.
in regards to the extraction shooter space as this genre gains the
The
spotlight in the
holiday.
gaming industry.
Yeah.
From what I see, like it's really fleshed out. I see Delta Force. They have the extraction mode. I played it. Call of Duty Warzone, whatever the DMZ, I played it. Like I don't
You
mind
know what's
that,
funny? These are my
but I think
choice.
what this game does have over
These are
that
my
is
choice.
the narration. If they can like keep it cool and streamlined and smooth, you can see something here. We can see something here. So
I mean, they did a
yeah,
good job.
I'm really looking forward to October
They
30th.
definitely did.
You know, um, Another interesting thing I wrote down, I was
I'm
like,
not
will Arc
sure.
Raiders somehow down the line create a PvPvEVE? Maybe I'm being a little extra,
That
right?
shit's
I guess the E's for extra,
crazy.
where Arc is now engaged with a new enemy. Like, wouldn't that be interesting to see,
Yeah,
like,
that'd be interesting.
I don't know how to explain it, but like, just another enemy fighting Arc? Because I seen in
You said fuck.
Monster Hunter World, where I think that was like the first introduction
Really?
of like monsters fighting monsters. I'm not too sure, but I like Monster Hunter the franchise, but I'm not really on top of it. And it was cool to see like the Diablos
You
fighting
fight
like a
you fight
Rathalos, and I was like,
Rathalos? I
holy
was about
shit!
to say
Like
I was
you
about to
saw
say
how
that.
the animations came
You
together,
fight
but
them
still,
once
I
and
was
you're
like,
like,
holy snap! That's just so
let's just enter this shit
cool
and come
to
back.
watch
And just
that.
running around with a full
So
bag
maybe that could
trying
happen
to
this game.
execute
I don't know.
shit.
I'm trying to keep my expectations a little less. Like during the tech test too, I was like blown. I was literally like, I don't know what to play.
Yo,
I
bringing
just
the fucking
nothing
game
felt
like
like it.
acumen is crazy.
But then with the reveal of
That
the
was definitely
countdown
Activision
to
Blizzard
October
doing things
30th, or the
not like
trailer to
that.
say
Yeah.
October 30th, it was like it was just like deflation. It was like, wow, we really aren't
Oh
gonna have the
shit.
ability to play this until October. And even said, oh no beta, no more betas, more tech tests, and then here it is server slam. So I don't know if it's like a wording thing. Like, hey, we never said no server slam.
Oh, I knew that.
Shake hands or whatever.
Oh, this power
But
cell. I take it took.
you
Yeah,
know,
batteries are
jazz
dead.
hands or whatever. But like, I'm just looking and saying like,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
hopefully again the release I think is gonna be good. People are gonna play it. Probably half a million, probably a
I
million
hope so
people.
bad.
Who knows? But I just hope it like has the money, has the patience to like stay in our like gaming hearts and minds for like the next couple of years because I'm a gamer that's not a I want to play 10 games this year. Like I could. And there's little games you can play and beat and everything else, but I
Damn.
really
Oh,
do
that's
not
sad.
want to play 5, 6 multiplayer games a year. Like that's not really what I'm into. I'm more or less into sitting down, playing the one game, relaxing for like you know, however long I play and then do something tomorrow, whatever. But I'm not like, oh, I want to play this game today and then play that game tomorrow and then play this. That's too much.
That's so
It's just too
funny.
much. So I'm not gonna waste any more guys' time. Whoever was listening up to this point, I really do appreciate it. Consider subscribing for more Arc Raiders videos. I'm not necessarily gonna post like tips and tricks and stuff like that, but just sharing cool things I find in my raids or whatever, or just streaming the game. But
Like, not
I'm not
bad.
gonna go
Like,
super
not
super
bad.
hard
It's
for
just
Arc
good.
Raiders,
Like,
but that's probably a lie. But I'm not gonna like upload too much Arc Raiders. I'm just gonna be too busy having fun. So like with that being said, thanks
I'm
Embark
waiting.
for
It's about to be.
allowing us to be on this journey. to play this game. Um, I think it's
Okay.
I don't say a work of art. That's pushing it, right? That's like super glaze, right? But I definitely do feel like
3,000. That's not
a
even
game
that
that I
bad.
can hook into mentally, figure out the systems, find out what to do, and then like extrapolate and then like skyrocket is something I'm interested in, and playing at a
Yeah.
decent pace as well. So this doesn't seem like you'll
Gotcha.
miss out kind of game. You know, some games are like that where you just miss out on the season, or you missed out on this. But like this game seems like they will give people a lot of time to probably figure out how do you want to play it and when do you want to play it. So it's fingers crossed for that. You know. So with that being said, peace out and have a good one.
Craft. Shield up, heal up. L1. Let them have it. Let them have it. Unless it's his friend, but let him have it. No. On me, on me, on me. Knock, yeah, yeah. Nice, that's it, that's it. That's both of them, that's both of them. Shield up though, definitely.